Ooh, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 41 of the Stand Up Guys podcast. I'm your host, Incomparable Zach Jones, joined as always by the bud to my Bill, Lester Jones. And of course, we got the Ninth Wonder, Chocolate Thunder, dropping fitties and grabbing titties, the nip flicking, deep dicking, swimming in boobies like Scrooge McDuck and rubies, the phenomenal A.J. Singh.
Hello, everyone.
All right, guys. Any good stories from this week? You guys do anything fun?
I watched Seven Samurai.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that.
Really good movie.
I'm going to have to watch it because you guys have both watched that, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies I always meant to watch. And I think I even have it on my HBO, queue. But then every time I see it, it's like... And I have no problem watching long movies. I mean, we watched the Snyder Cut, but for some reason I see that like 3.5 hours or whatever it is, and I'm like, maybe something else. But I'm gonna have to watch it one of these days.
Yeah. On your recommendation, I started watching Legion, so I've got a few under my belt, and it's pretty good so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I actually finished Legion season 3, and yeah, I think it stuck the landing. I really liked that series overall.
There's some cartoon, I think, on Amazon Prime.
Invincible.
I've been wanting to try that.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, I started it as well. I watched just 2 episodes so far.
So
I really like have you read any of the Invincible comic book?
I don't think so. I'm not familiar with the character.
Because I've read that series. I really like the comic, and I mean, so far the animated series I'm liking it. I don't know if I'm in love with it yet, but I'm definitely liking it. And it's good. You know, I noticed the last couple of years they're definitely making more animated shows for like adults or at least more mature audiences, which I like.
That's one thing I'm kind of scared about Disney is like they really don't like to play that line very hard, and so I'm wondering if Marvel's gonna like soften up a little bit. But I don't know.
You mean become like more kid friendly and less like
Right. Like, well, there's like stuff like The Boys on Amazon that you're never going to see anything like that on Disney.
Oh no, they'll never go like that. But I mean, that's fine. Then you just you get a different taste of things that way.
like okay, so in Falcon Winter Soldier, John Walker killing that person, I feel like that was kind of adult, you know, like
Yeah, I mean, that was probably at least... what's the rating on that stuff? Anyone know?
I mean, it's probably
I mean, it wasn't like you didn't actually see what happened,
Yeah.
so it's probably PG.
PG, probably.
Yeah.
And I think most of the Marvel movies are PG-13, maybe PG. Well,
Most of them were PG,
or maybe just PG.
because it was kind of a thing
But
when
what-
Daredevil was rated R or whatever, right?
oh, was it rated R?
I think it was rated R. Maybe
the
second
series.
one. Or not Daredevil.
Deadpool?
Deadpool.
Oh, that was definitely rated
But that
R.
was when it was like a Sony product.
It was owned by Fox at the time.
Fox. Okay.
So
Although, like, they've reported that they are making another Deadpool, and supposedly it
Yeah.
is R-rated. So,
yeah, maybe they're okay with it. So
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they continue with Deadpool. I don't want them to soften that up.
maybe they'll put it on Hulu instead of Disney, because I think Disney
That's
basically owns
possible.
Hulu now as well.
Oh, really?
Disney
Yeah.
owns everything.
After that deal. That's why you can, like, bundle in, like, Hulu with Disney if you want to.
Yeah, I saw an advertisement for some bundling packages. Like, well, it's finally turning into cable.
Did you see that new Marvel trailer that came out? That kind of went over like the past movies and the future movies.
yeah, I did see that.
I'm excited for the Eternals.
That one, like I've read one Eternals comic book and it wasn't very good. So like,
Yeah.
but there's characters I don't really know, which I like because like before I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, like I had read some Guardians comics, but like none of them tonally are in line with the movie. So like it was really fun watching that movie, not having like a ton of knowledge about the Guardians, and so yeah, I'm looking forward just watching that movie without having like a lot of background knowledge of like what those characters are.
Yeah, and the director, I think her name is Chloe Zhao.
Oh,
she won
right.
like Best Director, and they were talking about how like her vision for the movie is like what sold them on it, and just the money that went into the production of this movie. Like they're gonna have the backstory, kind of how the Eternals were made, or at least that's what they're thinking. Like it's going to be somewhat Celestials based,
Right.
so we'll get more like imagery of them and stuff like that. So, I mean, they say they're trying to go bigger scale than Endgame with this movie.
I also, I don't know a ton about that character Shang-Chi, which his movie trailer came out like a couple weeks ago, maybe. But like, I think basically it's just like a martial arts movie in the MCU, basically, which I'm down for.
I heard they saw like Enter the Dragon or some movie like that, and they were like, "Oh, we got to jump on this," and so like,
got to jump on this movie from the 70s.
Well, I really feel
at the time they made Shang-Chi like
the comic book.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they basically we're trying to capitalize on the popularity of Bruce Lee and that kind of stuff at the time. You guys watch anything else you can think of?
I watched Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan, the Amazon movie.
Oh yeah.
That's like made by what's his name? The guy who makes all those military type. I'm not sure.
Oh, Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy, yeah. And a lot of subterfuge. It's a decent story. And
like, what's the main like synopsis of the movie? Like, what's it about?
So he's like a badass soldier. He does something out there in the field that he found questionable, and that thing comes back to haunt him, and it drives the rest of the movie. So like there's loss and there's revenge and stuff like that, and there's who do you trust, who's really the good guy, who's feeding you bullshit, all kinds of stuff. So basically like a military movie. It's got the subterfuge, it's got the lost loved ones and all that stuff. It's kind of shits on the military, how they tell you what to do, how you live your life, and you don't know if you can entirely trust them, stuff like that. So, yeah.
I also, during the week, I finally got a TV in my room because I was tired of watching everything on my iPad.
A 55-inch
Yeah,
TV.
I got a 55-inch LG OLED screen. And
OLED?
And it looks really good.
Yeah, OLEDs are the best. I didn't know you had an OLED. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it is.
Well, I'd like to see your screen. What? You don't like it?
So gay.
It did sound like you were pretty horny over the TV.
What'd you think I meant?
You got some extra space on your bed. We can watch Deadpool.
But I tested it out a little. I rewatched Blade Runner 2049. Man, that's a great movie. If you guys haven't seen that, I think it's on HBO Max. And then I wanted to play a game on it. So, like last month, PlayStation had this deal where they just had like a bunch of free games, and one of them was a Ratchet and Clank game that came out in like 2016. It was basically like a remake of their very first game, but with like modern day visuals and stuff. And man, it looks really good on that TV. And I'm having fun with it. Fun game. So and then also I will say I haven't played it yet, but I believe it's still free like for a period of time this month. The game Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a game I played when it came out, and probably my favorite game that I played on PS4. It's really, really good. So anyone out there, if you haven't played that, it's you can get it for free right now on the PlayStation Store.
Is it like a first-person shooter? Or?
No, it's third-person, open world. Basically, the premise is it's like in the future, and like basically something happened, and like basically nature took back over. And so there's these tribes of people, but also like there's these like robotic like dinosaurs that roam the land. And so basically like the lead girl you play as, like you're hunting down these dinosaurs with a bow and arrow and like these different traps and stuff. And like basically through the course of the game, you kind of find out like how these things came to be and like what happened to the world basically that brought it down, and And it's a really good game. So if anyone hasn't played that, you can get it for free right now, and it's really good.
I did go back and watch some Rick and Morty. Such a good show.
I need to catch up on that because I'm pretty sure I watched the first 2 seasons.
Oh, then you're lucky. You've got plenty to watch. You've got 2 more seasons.
3 and 4 are out. Yeah, I'll have to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
All All right, guys, should we go ahead and get into this show and find some bizarre stories to talk about? AJ, as tradition dictates, we will start with you.
All right, well, bizarre stories. This one's perfectly normal. Woman smuggled gun into body cavity, gets 10-year sentence.
10 years.
An inmate in Missouri will spend the next 10 years behind bars for using an intimate body part as a holster for a loaded gun. Loaded gun.
Well, she was already in prison.
I don't know about that. Let me see.
Oh.
She smuggled it in. So Emmy Wilhite pleaded guilty to smuggling a 22 caliber pistol into Boone County Jail inside her vagina on Valentine's Day.
Oh, she was trying to bring it in. V-Day present to my BF.
Court documents revealed Wilhite snuck the weapon in her private parts, and it wasn't discovered during a pat-down and strip search. The jail guards only learned about the gun after finding it 17 days later when it turned up wrapped in plastic along with the woman's other possessions. The report noted it is believed Wilhite smuggled the 10-centimeter gun past guards in a body cavity. Wilhite claimed she was holding the gun for someone else, according to the New York Daily News. Cops think that after being jailed, Wilhite removed the gun from her vaginal cavity and hid it with her personal belongings. The 39-year-old inmate was arrested February 14th on drug and weapons charges. She pleaded guilty to those charges too and was ordered to serve 5 years for each. All of her sentences will run concurrently. So yeah, I mean, she snuck a gun into her vagina and it was loaded. That's a risk, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a Darwin Award waiting to happen.
Yeah.
You trust that safety switch. Well, you don't put one in the chamber. That's the key.
I mean,
Although it sounds like it must have been like a Derringer or something. I don't know.
She doesn't learn her lesson, though. She was on weapons charges, and she snuck another weapon into her vagina.
The old baloney holster.
You know what would be funny though is how they have those old West things where like the spring loaded like I want to see that pop out.
That's one thing I didn't like about Django because they always had they used that more than once, but they had like a double barreled like revolver or not a revolver
Shotgun.
It's just a Derringer, but it had two barrels, and they only ever shot like one barrel of it. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. It's like you got another shot in there. Come on.
I always wanted one of those just to like play around with it,
I've thought about buying like a decent quality one.
Well, I just like, can you actually buy those like spring loaded things? So that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that well. I don't know if you can legally buy one. But
Where there's a will, there's a way.
yeah, you don't have to be like too high up in the food chain to bend a few pieces of metal together.
All right, should we move on to Manifesto Round 1?
Biden administration announces it intends to ban menthols.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, it's because the war on drugs is working out so good that they're talking about legalizing marijuana. But, yeah. Can't imagine this being, like, focused against black people.
Is that who mostly smokes menthols?
Well, if you think of, like, the war on drugs, is like, it was illegal for everybody, but they really took it out on black people.
Oh, so you think, okay.
What is that? Because I've heard that, and like I don't know if it's a stereotype or actually based on anything, but I have heard that black people smoke more menthol cigarettes, and I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, they're just like cigarettes that are kind of minty, right?
Yeah,
They have like a minty taste.
So what is their reasoning that they're trying to attract kids with that
Right.
flavor?
I think other flavors might be also so.
But when the kids that are into that just do vaping because there's like a million different flavors of vapes.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they target that as well. But like I was listening to Dr. Drew somewhere, and he was talking about how, like, apparently it's something else in tobacco that's giving people cancer because seem like they're not getting those numbers out of the vaping. So I was like, well, in that case, go vape.
Yeah, I mean, if it's safer to vape.
No, I heard recently from, like, I don't know how factual this is, but a doctor was talking about it, that there are issues with vaping, that your lungs can collapse, that you can have like serious problems.
Well, I mean, I have heard of different things, and like apparently there are a lot of chemicals in there. But I heard of something early on where they were kind of fear-mongering, something called popcorn lung, where your lungs get all fucked up. But yeah, I don't really know. So
marijuana, guys.
Yep.
You know, it's funny you say that. I remember a story. This was a forever ago. I heard this that there was a guy that just really loved like microwavable popcorn, and
Oh, yeah.
he would eat it like every fucking day, and for it did end up like fucking up his lungs. I don't remember why or how.
Yeah, something about like the oil or something
Yeah.
they use in there. Like it's like really bad for you.
Oh man.
But yeah, apparently got like a I don't know a buttery coating in his lungs or something. Ugh.
It's like that guy we talked about that died because he ate too much black licorice. It was like, oh, if you eat too much, it's like poison or whatever.
It already tastes like poison.
Yeah,
You
God,
should
it's so
know.
nasty.
Yeah, what it did something like it blocked like the
Electrolytes or
some
something.
of your electrolytes or something. You could have a heart attack.
Yeah. Oh, my phone's being weird. Okay, was that all on that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, he talked about a woman with a gun in her pussy. Now we got this story. Huge butt plug sparks grenade scare in Germany. It might not have been explosive, but the toy still probably devastated something at one point. I mean, who gets paid to write these? Because I feel like I could if the money's good enough.
So, well, was it like in an X-ray? Like they found it in somebody's butt?
Well, no. So here it is. You can never be too careful, especially when you believe you've uncovered an explosive device. But this story goes to show that looks can be deceiving. On April 26, a woman was jogging in the woods in southeastern Germany near the town of Sonnen. Suddenly, she noticed something strange that stopped her dead in her tracks. On the ground by the path was an old plastic bag. Inside it was something that looked exactly like a hand grenade. Concerned for the safety of herself and others, the woman didn't waste time. She pulled out her mobile phone and called the emergency number. Her phone call sparked a full-blown bomb defusal operation. The bomb squad from the Bavarian Police Department rushed to the scene as quickly as they could, reported some foreign press outlet. The bomb defusal experts cleared the area. Supposedly, we're not quite sure if there was anyone to clear out. Then they approached the grenade and began working on defusing it. Except there wasn't much to defuse. Instead of carrying out a controlled detonation, we assumed the bomb squad returned with a hearty chuckle. When examining the supposed grenade, the explosive experts discovered that it wasn't a grenade at all. Instead, it was a sex toy, a roughly grenade-shaped butt plug of respectable girth.
Fire in the hole.
The other contents of the plastic bag made the nature of the rubber implement much clearer. According to the police, the bag also held an empty tube of lube, 2 used condoms, and a USB cable. What was that for? But the officers wanted to be absolutely certain that the object was meant to go up a person's keister. So they did a Google search for grenade-shaped butt plugs, and sure enough, they found exactly what they were looking for.
I thought this was going to involve rookie Joe
Yeah,
so in there.
Try it out, Nuki.
The search on the internet confirmed this suspicion. There actually are sex toys in the shape of hand grenades, and that was the kind of thing we were dealing with here, the police said in a press release. The thing was a butt plug, case closed. How these items got there and why they were left can only be surmised, the police said. However, based on the advanced state of decomposition the plastic bag was in, the officers made an educated guess that the butt plug had been abandoned a long time ago. Despite butt plugs not being exactly their area of expertise, the bomb squad did dispose of the toy properly. Yeah, I'm sure they did. They probably just rewashed it.
Now you know what to take to the riot to throw at the cops.
It's good to know that there's responsible cops still out there. It goes on, but basically it also talks about this story of like a guy who thought he saw like a large like bomb from like World War II, like that wasn't detonated or something, and
It was a 12-foot dildo.
that would have been better. But it was really just like a huge zucchini.
He couldn't tell that was a zucchini.
How retarded would you feel to be like, hey, it's a zucchini?
I don't know about that one.
This motherfucker's calling us every week.
I gotta say the butt plug people are getting inventive though. Like, who makes a butt plug that looks like a hand grenade?
Fire in the hole, yeah. That's what they say.
Pull the
butt
pin.
plug that's like that big around.
Yeah, I mean,
You got to be kind of worn out back there.
you would think so.
Yeah.
You're gonna prolapse.
Yeah.
then you gotta like try to shit it back out.
They threw away that butt plug because it wasn't doing it for them anymore. They had to go bigger.
I mean, if you're into ass play, you got to be kind of into shit play, right? Like,
I mean, it comes
They
with the
go hand in
territory.
hand.
I wouldn't say necessarily, but you got to be aware of the
Goes the acid
dangers.
hand.
Yeah. I mean, you're the ass eating expert according to all my intros. All right, AJ, I'll send it back to you.
all right, let's see what we have here for round 2. Okay. This was just, like a TV show. Doctor, 3 nurses helped deliver a baby on a Delta flight. A doctor and 3 nurses aboard a flight from Utah to Honolulu helped a fellow passenger deliver her baby mid-flight. Lavinia Munga was aboard the Delta Airlines flight late last week when she unexpectedly went into labor after only 29 weeks of pregnancy. Dr. Dale Glenn with Hawaii Pacific Health Family Medicine was on board the plane, as were North Kansas City Hospital NICU nurses Lainey Bamfield, Amanda Beading, and Mimi Ho. The baby was born quickly, and the nurses who specialize in caring for premature babies went into action. I don't know how a patient gets so lucky as to have 3 neonatal intensive care nurses on board the same flight when she is in emergency labor, but that was the situation we were in. The great thing about this is the teamwork. Everybody jumped in together. But, I mean, basically, this lady had a baby on a flight, and I think that's disgusting. I would not want to be on that flight. Yeah, I'd clap, I guess, if the baby was born healthy and everything. But,
Yeah.
I mean, ugh.
Well, doesn't our dad have a story about like? He had to-
Probably is the answer.
well, he had to. For some reason, he was taking this woman across the lake because she was in labor or something, and like she had a baby. Something crazy.
I don't remember this story,
helped
but
Well, like he was the only one there, I think,
wait, was he trying to say she like had it right there?
on the lake. I think.
And he was like the doctor.
I don't believe that story. I'm going to say straight up, I think that one's based
I
on
don't
fiction.
know where that one's coming from. It seems like he told that story.
Oh, he very well might have, but
He does tell some
Because,
stories.
like, look, women poop when they have babies.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. So, like, on this flight, if somebody pooped in the aisle, I'd be like, "Ugh." I couldn't eat my food. I
Gross
couldn't
ass
breathe
baby.
the air. It's just,
the one flight where they serve chocolate pudding.
well,
You just like eating peanuts and intensely watch it.
You're just watching them. You throw your cookie on the floor.
what a waste. But yeah, that's my topic.
All right, then, Manifesto, round 2.
I think I mentioned this one to you guys earlier this week. China forcefully harvests organs from detainees, tribunal concludes. So the organs of members of marginalized groups detained in Chinese prison camps are being forcefully harvested, sometimes while patients are still alive. This is a tribunal in London that concluded this, but they say maybe like 1.5 million detainees in Chinese prison camps are being killed for their organs to serve like $1 billion a year transplant business.
Jeez.
That's horrific.
Like, who are these people?
Just ethnic
I
minorities.
don't think it was in this article. There was one. Well, this one mentions the Uyghurs again, but there was another like a religious group I was reading about when I first came across this story, and I forgot what they were called.
Could it be Taoists?
No, I don't think they were directly. It was some kind of like side thing I hadn't really heard of before, but it did seem like it had kind of like a Buddhist kind of feel to it.
These people are being too peaceful and non-aggressive. Let's kill them and take their organs.
Look at them just living.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's horrible. Though. I can't believe in this day and age people are still doing such horrific things to each other. You know.
China is fucking shady as fuck, man.
Yeah, I heard that some Chinese men are marrying women in like Pakistan and bringing them back to harvest their organs. I didn't read that myself. I heard that from a family member, but
Oh, Falun Gong practitioners, and I don't remember. Yeah, exactly what. Like I'd never heard of them before this.
I mean, the thing is, like, you hear stories about that in India too. You know, people harvesting organs from like homeless people or something like that.
Well, I mean, there's like horror stories where someone like gets roped in by some con man or something, or
Yeah,
or some con woman and wakes up in a bathtub or something like this. But this sounds like it's freaking state,
yeah,
Yeah, when it's like state sponsored, that's pretty
Yeah.
scary.
yeah. And you know it's happening on a large scale because, I mean, there's
Yeah.
1.4 billion people in China.
So yeah, I don't know. China is just
That's
There's a lot of fucking weird stories coming out of China. So I don't know.
yeah,
That's the thing, though. Like, we'll go to war in the Middle East. Like, if someone's committing like genocide, there's an excuse to be there. But then, like China, we know they're doing things like
Yeah, we
this, and
just
we don't
completely
say
turn back,
anything
yeah.
because of the position they're in. You know.
Like, oh, that'd be a bad fight. Let's not do that.
I mean, not that we want a war with China, obviously, but
but yeah, it's like we should at least say something. You know, like if we, yeah, I don't know.
well, I got a story that'll pick things up because not all heroes wear capes, and some of those people are teachers. Now, I will say I never really cared for school, and I unfortunately never had that. Some people have that teacher that say they just like, turned everything around and enlightened them. I never really had that. But if I had this teacher, I think maybe I would have turned out a little better. IT teacher takes students to lap dance club and only gets banned from teaching for 3 years. Richard Glenn, 55, threatened students and took others to a strip club when he was drunk on a school trip in Costa Rica in 2019. What schools have trips to Costa Rica, by the way? He has been banned from teaching for 3 years. Glenn was sent home early during the Longridge Towers school trip because of his actions. He admitted to gross misconduct and was dismissed in August of 2019. Glenn, or Mr. Glenn as he was referred to in school, was heard but a misconduct panel about the incident. I noticed a lot of these articles have typos in them. He taught computer classes and was one of the leaders of the group of 16 to 18-year-olds that went to Costa Rica on July 5th, 2019. He was supposed to be there until July 28th, but was sent home after 6 days due to his behavior. His actions included drinking with pupils, allowing one or more pupils to drink alcohol despite being under the legal age of 18, threatening to kick the head in of one pupil and kill another.
What?
Telling one pupil, I'm not in trouble, you'll be in trouble. After being aggressive to one pupil, he kissed the boy's forehead and told him, you're all right. Taking one or more pupils to the strip club, acting aggressively towards the woman leading the trip when she tried to help him back to his tent, exposing himself to the woman in a shared hotel room, although it was agreed that this was not malicious or sexually motivated.
Just naked and drunk.
He said that there was no malice or sexual intent in taking the students to the lap dance club. He said it was inappropriate and unprofessional for him to have not controlled the situation. Although he later added that he couldn't remember what happened due to a state of intoxication, but he did not dispute the recollection of those present. The panel was shown drink tickets bought at the lap dance and said it was satisfied that his conduct amounted to misconduct of a serious nature, which fell significantly short of the standards expected of the profession. The panel's report said Mr. Glenn was at various times during the school trip under the influence of alcohol and therefore not in a position to adequately take decisions or act in loco parentis should the need arise. I don't know what that Latin phrase means. This was in circumstances where pupils under his care were in an unfamiliar country far away from home and relying on him for guidance and protection. Mr. Glenn was an experienced teacher and pastoral leader who would have been expected to lead an overseas trip safely and would have been well aware of the conduct expected of him.
Did anybody get hurt?
Glenn will have to apply for the ban to be lifted after 3 years, the panel says. I mean, wouldn't he have had to have known like all this was going to come out? Or do you think he was just an alcoholic?
Yeah, he's an alcoholic.
Yeah, maybe he just got drunk and then like it just got out of control or something.
Yeah. He needs to chill out on the drinking.
So when I was in high school, I had a business teacher, and there's like this business group, and they took us to Seattle, and like he did not check in on us at all. It was just like crazy, doing whatever. And it's like, I think he was just like, he went over there and like he got drunk for the weekend.
Oh.
And we were just like, fucking doing whatever. I was like, that was fun.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do?
No, we were just like drinking, partying, and being stupid.
Okay, you got to drink?
Yeah, we were drinking.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the first time I got drunk.
Like, was there any component to it where you had to like take a field trip and see like a business or something? I mean, was there any sort of?
Well, I think we did visit like one day I think we visited. It was some business. I think it was maybe a brewery actually. And then we had one day where there was, I think, like we did a couple hours in like there was like some kind of seminar or something. But the rest of the time we were pretty much just tearing it up.
All these businesses are breweries and wineries and.
But yeah, I was wandering around like Seattle by myself, and like I wasn't used to like homeless people and shit, and it was just like, it's like maybe someone should be watching us. But yeah, good times.
All right, that's it for that one. AJ, I'll send it back to you.
All right. Let's see. Let's go to the one that hits closest to home. Late video renter wanted on charges she discovers 21 years later. Could it have at least been a good selection? No offense to star Melissa Joan Hart, but an unreturned VHS copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch from the now closed movie place in Norman, Oklahoma, got a former Oklahoma resident in a heap of trouble. Karen McBride was actually facing federal embezzlement charges for not returning the tape 21 years ago. McBride found out about the charges when she got married in Texas and tried to make an appointment to change her name on her driver's license in that state. So I sent them an email, and they sent me an email and told me that I had an issue in Oklahoma that was in reference... this was a reference number for me to call so I could take care of it. The first thing the woman answering the phone at the Cleveland District County Attorney's Office told me was I was wanted for felony embezzlement, so I thought I was going to have a heart attack. She told me it was over the VHS tape, and I had to make her repeat it because I thought this is insane. McBride was charged with felony embezzlement of rented property in March 2000.
So, like, how is it embezzlement?
Yeah, I don't know how that is either.
But also, like, isn't there, like, some statute of limitations? Not for embezzlement, apparently.
Yeah, it's been 21 years. You would think so. And, yeah, this place closed down in 2008. To add insult to injury, McBride told Fox 25 she didn't even remember renting the movie. I'd lived with a young man. This was over 20 years ago. He had 2 kids, daughters that were 8, 10, or 11 years old, and I'm thinking he went and got it and didn't take it back or something. I had never watched that show in my entire life. It's just not my cup of tea. Meanwhile, I'm a wanted felon for a VHS tape. However, McBride's spotty employment record now makes sense to her after being let go from several jobs without a reason. Because when they ran my criminal background check, all they're seeing is those 2 words, felony embezzlement. She's trying to get her record expunged, but I mean, damn, I've had movies that I couldn't return, that I couldn't find. You know, like they just charge you for the movie or something. That's it.
That's like the max punishment.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't understand that charge because doesn't a felony by nature mean that, like, it's over a certain amount of money?
yeah.
Like the difference between a
if you
misdemeanor and a
grand larceny
felony.
and stuff.
If you count like 40 years of late charges.
Still, an embezzlement? Like,
Yeah.
that
They
doesn't
went
seem like
after her. They went after her. That is insane.
Yeah, it doesn't even make any sense at all.
Probably when that company was going out of business, they're like, what can we do to get our revenues up? Well, this lady owes us $742,000 in late fees. Let's go get her. I don't know.
That is
ridiculous.
I mean, there should be some oversight on the law, like when this is happening. When somebody should be like, wait, we're going to charge this person with this? Like, that doesn't make sense.
I mean, if you're a judge, like that's your job to use sound judgment. Wouldn't you think this is ridiculous if this came into your courtroom?
What if it was something with a mandatory minimum jail sentence?
Yeah, they should get rid of
Yeah.
mandatory minimums,
They
but
should.
that's another story.
Yeah, that is another story. It's a touchy point.
But I mean, this just proves that like when people can charge you with the maximum, you know, that might happen, and that's just not right, you know. That's insane.
Wow, we're already on to Manifesto round 3.
Well, this is my last story here. So Germany busted an international child porn ring that was on the dark web with some registered 400,000 users or something.
Dang.
But they got like a few people who were administrators. I think a couple of them were living in Paraguay, and then they got one like super user, some like old ass creepy.
They got a few people out of 400,000.
Well, they got the people who are
Doing it.
controlling the site. So
That's incredible. 400,000 people on a dark
Yeah,
web
that's
porn,
ridiculous.
like child porn site. They must have been international all over the world, huh?
yeah, I'm assuming that went out to everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, the content is horrible. Then how are all these people on the same page though? How do 400,000 people around the world know to go to this place? Like they were taking that risk. I mean, the fact that this even exists is shocking. You know?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people, like, if you use the proxy servers and stuff, people can go on the dark web without really
like
being
a
trackable.
VPN.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know if the risk to the users is super, like, huge. But, like, ultimately, like, the website has to be on a server somewhere. So, eventually, that's how they get people. Like, that's how they got the guy who was doing the... what was it called? The Silk Road. Like somehow they tracked it. Like he had some stuff on servers, and I want to say it was like in the Netherlands or maybe Norway, Sweden, somewhere over there. But they eventually found out the servers it was on, and they caught him. But
You know, I hear that term, the dark web, all the time, and I don't even really understand what that is. Like, do these people have to like download a special thing to even get on the quote unquote dark web?
well, I think it's about how you access it. Like it's supposed to be hard to trace.
No. But yeah, that is an insane amount of people, 400,000.
Yeah.
I suppose that has to be all over the world if it's that many.
Well, I mean, pretty much all internet sites have like a bunch of bullshit, like user profiles too. But
Yeah, that's true.
still, that's a huge number.
I mean, I heard like 98% of traffic is on the dark web. I've never been on the dark web.
Well, the thing is, like, I think they have the dark web and like the deep web or something. I forget which is which. But one is just like regular websites where like there's like a password or account or something, and web crawlers don't see what's inside. So basically, that's black. Like you can't really see
yeah,
it.
I've heard
But then
that.
there's like other like entire networks that you have to download the Tor browser to go and visit and different stuff like that. And that's like where I guess the more fucked up shit is, I think. So I don't know.
Another light topic.
You're going heavy today.
harvesting organs and child porn.
Yeah, dark. It's dark out there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one here. International Lego Mafia busted by French police. You'd think the colorful plastic bricks are just kids' toys, but they're actually worth a lot of money. Black markets usually provide those looking for illicit goods a relatively safe trade network. While they can offer those living under repressive regimes a chance to buy basic necessities, mostly they're used to sell illegal stuff like parts of endangered animals. But that's not all you can find in these shady marketplaces. You can also buy any assortment of drugs, weapons, criminal services, and Lego. Wait, what? These people.
Have you ever seen the price of Legos?
I know.
Like if someone was like, "Here's a Harry Potter set for $20," I'd be like, "Oh, my kids are gonna be happy
Like 8 of
today." Yeah. I invested in this in menthols. I'm gonna be good next year.
Yeah, you might want to invest in Lego. You read that right. French police authorities are building a case against an international criminal network dealing in stolen Lego. Last June, they caught 3 Polish citizens, 2 men and a woman, red-handed stealing everyone's favorite toy bricks from a toy store in Yvelines. The trio confessed that they were part of an expert thief team specializing in stealing Lego. It turns out that there are groups that are practically Lego mafias, entire criminal operations centered around pilfering Lego blocks and selling them through both legal and illegal channels. The criminals come to France, set up in a hotel in the Paris region, then set about raiding toy stores before returning to Poland to sell off their haul, explained a French police officer. Next, they'll probably tell us that there's some kind of Lego father pulling the strings. But who on earth is buying these black market toys? Kids of actual mafia bosses who are trying to learn the trade? Believe it or not, there is a whole worldwide community of people who invest in or play with Lego blocks or both. Lego has quite a following with the adult fan community. Because of that, there's a huge market for Lego right now, said Chris Malloy, a Lego collector who runs the Brothers Brick website. That market has only gotten bigger over the last year, confirmed another Lego specialist, Gerben van Ilken, or whatever. Hergen, Jurgen, Flurgen. He said it's all due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Investing in these pieces isn't new, but this niche market has reached new heights with the pandemic. People have more time at home because of the health restrictions, and that game market has exploded. It goes on, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Like, I know there's a black market for like almost everything, but yeah, apparently, you know, and like you're saying, Legos are really expensive. So you know,
yeah, I mean, it'd probably be pretty easy to repawn them on eBay or something. They're probably not like tracked or anything.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But for the size, they're really expensive. So I also heard that like Pokemon cards are exploding because people are just sitting around at home and they're picking some of this crap up again.
Yeah, you see videos of like people waiting in lines at stores to get these cards, and like they're buying huge bags, and, like they're cheating to get them. They're doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Are Beanie Babies making a comeback yet?
I mean, I have no idea. They could be.
Are they still worth something? That's interesting.
I bet they are. Man, I remember like in the like 90s, our grandma got like really into collecting them. She had a ton of them.
Yeah, it's some of the just most retarded shit.
Yeah, Beanie Babies was weird.
Remember for a hot minute those Furby things were like the rage?
Well, that was like one of those Christmas shortages.
Yeah, like the Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah, Furby. Retarded.
So stupid. Yeah, some of those things, I don't know why people like. Man, what do they still make a lot of like the talking toys? Because like I remember we used to have like a parrot that I think you could like record your voice on, like.
Right, yeah.
And then of course they had like
Teddy
Billy
Ruxpin.
Yeah, and Billy the Bass, the singing bass.
Those things must have sold like millions of units. They were everywhere.
Jason had one.
I hated those bass things.
Well, didn't someone give our parents one? I think they had one for a while, or there's
I
something
don't
very
know.
similar.
I'm not sure. I know Jason had one and he loved it at the time.
I don't know.
All right, AJ, I'll send it back to you.
All right, this is going to boil y'all's Montana blood here. Alberta man accused of entering U.S. in kayak, fleeing border officer. An Alberta man is awaiting a next court date in Montana after he was detained by American authorities for allegedly crossing the border in a kayak. The U.S. Department of Justice says in a release that Tommy Plant from Edmonton faces a criminal complaint of illegal entry into the U.S. and possession of a firearm and ammunition while prohibited. It says the RCMP spotted the 32-year-old on the evening of April 19th in a kayak on Lake Koocanusa, a reservoir shared by British Columbia and
We know that
Montana.
one. Yep.
Mounties warned the Eureka, Montana Border Patrol Station that the man may be trying to cross the border. The Justice Department says that the next morning a border officer saw a beached kayak, a campsite, and a man about half a kilometer south of the border. It says when the officer approached, the man picked up a rifle, fled into the woods after an 8-kilometer chase, was arrested. Plant appeared in court Friday. U.S. Magistrate Judge Kathleen L. DeSoto ordered he be detained. But,
So-
yeah.
He should have just like hit his kayak and tent a little bit better.
I mean, hey, Canadians with guns fleeing into Montana?
Yeah, that's really
horrifying.
close to our hometown actually.
Yeah, really close. Eureka's only like maybe like 90 miles from where we live. And my dad for years worked just a little bit from Eureka. Like,
Yeah, he'd drive out there like crazy commute.
yeah,
He
like
was
all the
doing
time.
that. He also has like a story, like a family story, like someone in our family fled. I believe it was from Canada into the U.S. Like, but they were like he had like a posse chasing him or something.
Yeah, supposedly
This is lawless out there.
But
Yeah,
that was a long time.
yeah, like supposedly somebody wanted by the the authorities and they crossed over from Canada.
So this is common.
And now we're Americans.
And now you don't want other people crossing from there.
I don't think we get that many really. Like it used to be, like when we were kids, you could just walk across, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how common is this that people are fleeing from there into Montana? Not very, right?
I mean, I'm guessing there probably is like some drug stuff that goes back and forth that they watch for, but
Yeah, that was just mostly because you guys from Montana.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much like illegal Canadian border crossing is. I kind of figured when Trump was
gonna be going
president,
the other
there
way.
might be some going the other way. Like, I'll do the jobs Canadians don't want to do. They're taking our jobs, eh?
Who's going to beat these seals to death?
You might have found like some accusation that Canadians would be like, that's racist.
Well, I think we're back around to you. Do you want to try the card? See if we get lucky.
yeah.
Let's see if we got a card in here that's worth talking about. Ugh. What emoji describes your personality?
What?
What?
Emoji?
Emoji. What did I say? Emoji. I don't know.
Emoji?
Emoji. Yeah, I was in the neighborhood. I know what the kids talk about these days.
What emoji describes your personality?
Like the shit bubble.
Yeah,
Oh, the pile of shit.
yeah.
The smiling shit.
I don't know. Is there just a really depressed looking emoji?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are.
that one's probably me.
The eggplant penis. Yeah, I don't really use emojis.
That's what I was saying. Like
They say people who use emojis get more sex.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Well, I'm gonna start using them.
You got to up your emoji game.
You're going to use them on
Smiley
us.
face, smiley face.
You guys ready for the podcast? Eggplant.
Pretty much the only people I text are you guys. So yeah, this ain't gonna work out very well.
You might get sex.
What was that? Wasn't there like a Chris Rock joke in a movie? It's like, or the sex you want, you're not getting. Or no, this I don't remember. The sex you're getting, you don't want. Something.
I think that's from a movie, but like I remember he had a thing where he's like, if a woman has a tongue ring, she'll probably suck your dick. If a guy has a tongue ring, he'll probably suck your dick.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I've been hit on by gay men who were like, yeah, I'd do that. It's no difference between a man and a woman. I was like, no, it's different.
Didn't you say when you were Ubering you were hit on by a guy once?
Yeah. Yeah, once. I think.
Well, spill the details, man.
I don't know. It was like some like I want to say he was probably like Eastern European-ish. Like he had a bit of an accent,
Oh, that's kind of sexy.
and he was kind of like he's like one of those hairy like Romanian guys or
Oh,
something.
like a bear. Okay.
But he was he was. I don't even remember what he was saying, but like I was like, nah, not the most comfortable situation.
I gotta say, I got hit on by men a lot. Well, naturally, I'm like a bear now, so I'd be the
Right.
one hitting on people.
Yeah, you would be a bear, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Looking for those otters.
When I was young, though, I got hit on much more by gay men.
No.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like they like that twink look or something.
You know, I'm not gay, but I almost wish a gay guy would hit on me just for the ego boost. Because like, I've never been hit on by anybody. I feel good to be hit on by somebody.
Yeah, I never understood why people would get upset about it. That was an ego boost for me. I'd be like, this is great. I'm attracted to somebody. That's good.
Gay guys were like into super hot dudes.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, these guys take care of themselves. If they like me, then all right.
Oh yeah, like especially if you got hit on like a real buff, like hunky gay dude, then you'd be like, wow. In
Somebody's stock is going up.
with women, I'm like a 2, but with guys, I'm a little higher on the scale.
I got options.
Well, this is a depressing story, but it's short, or shorter than my other one, so I'll go for it. Spain man killed and ate his mother. Originally arrested in February 2019, Spain man Alberto Sanchez Gomez allegedly killed his mother, cut her up, and then ate her. Police went to the home of his 69-year-old mother following concerns from a friend. What they found was nothing less than disturbing. There were body parts scattered around the apartment, and some were kept in plastic containers. It wouldn't surprise you to hear that Gomez is known as the cannibal of Ventus. Police found the blood-stained flat in the district with the grisly remains. According to what he told the court, he doesn't remember dismembering or eating his mom. He reported that he had been suffering from a personality disorder and that he also has a drug habit before he was arrested. Apparently, he was known to police with regards to his violence towards his mother. At the time, Gomez was breaching a restraining order that Maria Soledad Gomez had against her son when he was arrested. He and his mother had a confrontation that ended with his strangling her and dragging her to the bedroom. From there, he used a saw and 2 kitchen knives to cut her up in order to get rid of the body. Once he had started cutting up the body, he began eating the remains over the course of about 15 days. Man, you'd think they would be getting like super rotten at that point. Storing other parts in various plastic containers around the house and in the fridge. The court was aware of the macabre scene police found when they went to her home in eastern Madrid in February of 2019. Some of the human remains were in the process of being cooked, while others were just being stored in containers by the Spanish man. Gomez was 26 at the time of the murder and arrest. He did confess to strangling his mother. How much time do you think he should get? R.I.P. Mama Gomez. I mean, yeah, this guy should be locked up forever. I mean, that's a stupid question. But, you know, I have, like, heard of, you know, different people who commit heinous crimes saying that, like this guy, like, they don't really remember it. It's almost like they were, like, blacking out at the time or something. Like, do you think that's true, or do you think it's just him trying to, like, you know, get out of it?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, you never know what's going on with mental illness and stuff, but like Dahmer would get blackout drunk before he killed people. Like he said he wouldn't remember shit, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this guy sounds like he had mental illness, like pretty bad. Like talking about personality.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very well planned out. Like he's like 15 days in, and he's got like shit sitting in Tupperware like all over the place.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds evil and everything, but I don't think he's just an evil person. I think he's got some serious problems that he doesn't know where to begin dealing with them. Yeah.
You know what's weird is, so we frequently listen to, well, he doesn't, but I do that. But he heard this episode, that Tom Segura podcast. And like one of the guys that works for him has this weird thing where he rarely shits. Like he'll shit. He said he's gone like over a month without shitting.
Yeah.
Which I know sounds insane.
If I go out like a day, I'm like rolling on the floor.
I know. I can't imagine.
I can't sleep at night without shitting.
But the thing is like he says he hates it, and he also says that like kind of a similar thing, like his brain like blocks it out. Like he weirdly like doesn't even like kind of remember it. Like his brain just tries to like forget it.
The shitting,
yeah. So like, I think he must have some weird childhood trauma related to shitting or something, because that's not normal. Like,
who filled the entire toilet? Surprise! It was that guy. He hasn't shit in a month.
I mean, he says when he does it, like there is a lot of shit, which I can imagine. But
he's like 50% poop at that point.
I mean, yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, like. If I even went, like you were saying, more than a day, I'd be like, wanting to die.
At that point, you did like have to take a stick to like shove more food down in the hole. It's like I'm full to the top, man.
Oof. It would suck.
You'd think like your like intestines would have to be all like stretched out to hold that much, unless you're just like eating very little. I don't know.
I mean, he's got to have a powerful toilet to take a 1 month poop.
I mean, I think you've like flushes in between.
I would definitely like lay that bad boy at Starbucks and fucking walk away.
That would be funny.
Bad for life.
You fill up a whole toilet and leave it there. Just
It's just like that episode of South Park where Randy has that world record setting food. He just fly to the top of that thing.
hot, 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 hot. Man, yeah, that's a power play to leave a dookie like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not just physical. That's got to be psychological. I don't understand that, man.
I mean, his body must like really take advantage of all the nutrients in the food. Like,
And he's like a really skinny guy too.
Maybe he's just not eating very much, and like, so he's not getting like a ton of buildup. Like he gets, it takes a while to really build up.
God, I don't know. You hear him talking, it seems like he eats like normally, but maybe not. I can't imagine
Is it
going
like-
a month.
Can you like see from like show to show, like he's like, yeah,
he's like
I
pregnant.
don't think
he's
so.
got his stretch marks are going. He's like, it's gonna be soon.
I'm in my third trimester.
Yeah.
Is that from?
That was
That was
South Park.
that South Park you were just talking about.
Terrible.
Let's see, AJ. I think it's your turn.
Okay. Let's see what I got here. I got the kayak one. Oh, okay. I think this is my last story. Impulsive. Man in bear suit walking from LA to San Francisco. He's got a giant padded head, perfectly round cheeks, or perfectly round red cheeks, and a bobble tail, and he's walking from Los Angeles to San Francisco. I mean, that's like a 8-hour drive. I don't know how he's walking. That's insane.
Yeah.
Jesse Lario says he does not know exactly what inspired him to dress up as the character he named Bearson and start the over 400-mile trip, but he has been pleased with the attention the man has received, or the move has received. It was an impulsive decision for sure. I didn't plan it out, said the 33-year-old in the brown and white suit he designed. The journey, Larios, began on April 12th, has morphed into something bigger, drawing fans from all over. Larios has started a GoFundMe account, which as of Wednesday has raised $7,100. Upon reaching San Francisco, he said he plans to hold an online vote to determine what to do with the money. I just wanted to help people out, Lario said. Larios has been making stops along the way to sleep and eat, but not much else. He visits gas stations for meals and to clean up, and just sleeps inside the suit wherever he finds himself at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say after 3 weeks in a bear suit, you need to invest that money into scrubbing your ass.
Yeah, that is going to be nasty.
That's gonna be nasty as fucking there.
Walking every day, all day like that, too, you're going to be sweaty, just
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would want to do that.
He
Take
didn't
heat
plan
stroke?
it.
I don't know.
He just like Forrest Gump. He started going, then he's just
Yeah,
like,
never stop.
"Well, I made it to the coast. I might as well keep going."
In a bear suit. The trip has already taken longer than anticipated, but he said he's not in a huge rush. Instead, he is walking, enjoying the views, which he posts on Instagram, and taking inspiration from the journey and all the folks he has met along the way. Everything's been pretty wild, to be honest, Lario said. It inspires me to do new things. It brings new ideas. It fuels my creativity. It helps a lot, and it feels good, too. This could only be done in California.
Well, I mean, he got $7,100. Say it's like a month-long journey. That's not a bad month.
Yeah, but he's going to donate that. He
Like,
doesn't get to keep
I
it.
would.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have kept
Be
it
like,
too.
I earned this. Fucking roll up looking all fucking ratty and shit.
Yeah, after a month, he's going to be disgusting.
Yeah, mauled by dogs, ran over. I don't know. He's gonna be a hot mess.
Yeah, I think after a month, he's going to regret having done this.
Like he's gonna have to peel the suit off of his skin.
Yeah, it's going to be fused. But yeah, I don't know why people do these things.
I remember, like, there was a story a couple years ago. I think it was in Canada, where like they made this crude like hitchhiking robot just to see like if it could hitch like all the way across Canada or something. But then like it ended up just getting like the shit beat out of it or something.
Well, no, like it went all over Canada or whatever, and then like it came to the U.S. and went to Pittsburgh, and like it lasted for like a day.
Oh well, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Surprised Pittsburgh is where it went down.
Well, I don't know if it was like Pittsburgh
Philly?
or Detroit or something.
Oh, okay.
It was some like shady ass
Yeah.
city.
We found it getting gangbanged by a bunch of homeless guys.
Yeah, because you think of Philly as like a tough area to be. Those fans are horrible. They'll beat up Santa Claus.
Well, we're pretty close to the hour mark, but do you want to go out on maybe another card or two? See if we can get a good one.
If a vampire gave you the choice of being dinner or becoming a vampire,
Oh, I'd
what would
become
you
a
choose?
vampire easy.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well become a vampire. If you don't like it, you can just walk out in the sun and
yeah, give it a run.
yeah, you might as well give it a try.
Might like it.
Yeah, it might be fun.
Yeah, the other option is death,
Yeah.
so gotta go for it.
Like you could do like one of those ones where you just kill pieces of shit or something.
Yeah.
Do you think when you get turned into a vampire, like you get to where you like to taste the blood, or is it something that's always like tastes shitty, but you just need it?
I think you like it. I think it's delicious when you're a vampire.
Yeah, it's like an aphrodisiac. It's like, yeah, boner town, the whole works.
Yeah.
Now, do you think you can like you wouldn't like it as much, but like, do you think you can survive like on cow's blood? Like maybe it's not as good, but it gets you by.
So that reminds me of this story that I heard about these people who were trapped at sea. They hadn't eaten for weeks, and when they did catch fish, they focused primarily on eating their eyes because they needed zinc. They were short on zinc, and they didn't even know it, but their bodies were craving that thing that they needed. So I think after long enough, if cow's blood is like decent enough replacement, that would start to look good. I would think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I figure like there's enough people in the world. Like I could find some like shitty people that would be like tasting fine.
Yeah, I'd look for shitty people.
Yeah, I
too.
look for the shitty people.
Yeah, politicians. Oh my gosh, that'd be great. Just if you could like turn into a bat. What are the rules here now? Do you have glamour or what do you? What's the situation?
I don't know what the rules of being a vampire. Depends on who's writing the story, I guess.
If you have powers,
Yeah, I don't
that'd
know.
be interesting.
Do you really want to suck Dick Cheney's blood?
He's probably the king vampire.
Yeah. You're like, oh shit, this is my house, son.
My minion.
God damn it.
You know how you're talking about people eating the fish eyes for zinc? Like, there's this condition, I forget what it's called. I guess sometimes, like, pregnant women get it, but also, like, I think it's common in children that are maybe malnourished. But, like, they'll start, like, eating, like, dirt or, like, licking bricks and shit because, yeah, like, they're not getting a
craving
certain...
something,
Yeah, they're not
yeah.
getting a certain mineral that they should be getting. And there's a name for that condition. I forget what it is. All right, I'm going to do one more of these cards, and then we'll call it a wrap. I think we maybe did this one before.
Take another one.
Would you rather be an astronaut or a marine? Why?
Astronaut. Hands down.
Yeah. Although I got to say, like,
A lot of them have exploded.
Yeah, that's true.
I would pick astronaut.
I wouldn't want to be like on a Mars mission.
Oh no.
Right. Yeah. Nothing too risky.
Now, does an astronaut necessarily have to go to space?
No, it's just like it was kind of like luck of the draw because a lot of people trained for it, but not everybody went.
Yeah, I want to be that astronaut. Man, I'm scared to fly. Fuck getting in a or like a space shuttle that commonly explodes. And, like, even if it didn't explode, that would terrify me.
I would definitely be down for going to space.
I would be down for it. I'm scared of flying too, but the idea, like thinking about it actively is scary. But then when you get on a plane and don't even think about it, you're just like, okay, I'm here now,
Oh no, I think about it when I'm on the plane.
Oh yeah.
Especially when they do that thing where they just drop like that because apparently they can't subtly go down.
Well, it's just
That's-
turbulence. Yeah.
But not even turbulence. It's like it's not like the plane's shaking. It's when they just like lower their elevation like really quickly and you can feel it.
No.
I'm really sensitive to that. Like I don't like it. I don't know.
I guess I have too much faith in the pilot. I'm just like, he knows what he's doing. I'm fine.
Yeah.
He's drunk. Who knows?
Yeah, it's less than me really thinking the plane is going to crash and just, I guess, being afraid of heights and not liking that
Yeah.
feeling. It just makes me tense,
Yeah, I am afraid of heights, strangely enough. So like when I see pictures of those people who worked on those like steel girdles, like they're like what
Oh, yeah.
thousands of feet in the air, I'm like, no, that's insane. Just the idea that that person had to go through that is a scary enough thing for me. You know, like
Yeah, that is scary.
how. You gotta have nerves of steel. You must be blind. Like, how are you up that high and not worried? Any slip, you're dead. You know, like, I don't know how people did it back then. How'd they make those high-rise buildings? I don't get it.
I heard that like when they were building like the skyscrapers in New York, they specifically looked for like I want to say it was like Apaches. It was some type of Indian because they said that they just go up there and then just didn't care. It wouldn't affect them. They just walk around, do whatever.
Gee, I mean, that's next level. That's impressive to me. I'm scared of the ocean. I'm scared of heights. Like,
The moss touches your foot.
yeah. I'm like, I'm dead. It's caught me.
Man, a couple weeks ago in Tom Segura, they showed this clip, and I have no idea where this was. It looked like kind of a touristy thing, but they had this bridge that has no handrails on it at all, and it's just basically like, you know, plank of wood, a rope, another plank of wood, but they hook this harness on you so that if you
Right.
do fall off, like, you're not going to die. But there's this guy, and I don't know how they even convinced him to get on there. He's just like on all fours, just like screaming, like freaking the fuck out. And it's funny. It's hilarious, but you do feel for this guy, you know. But
There's a
Yeah.
bridge or like a walkway in China that's like also I think hundreds of feet in the air, and it's glass, so you can look down and see like everything beneath you, and people are just like you can see them just freaking out like walking on it.
Well, I saw one of those. I don't know where it was, but like it had like this glass panel. But then you get to one, and it's actually like a TV screen. So it's kind of like you're looking through it, and then like it cracks.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's scary.
That's fucked up.
So, yeah.
I don't know where it is, but there's somewhere where there's like, you know, a tall building, and they put a swimming pool with a glass bottom.
Oh,
So like, you know,
geez,
you're
that's some
overlooking,
engineering.
like, yeah, where you can like see down like all the way to the ground, you know, and that would
I've seen
freak me.
this.
That would freak me out.
I seen one with like so it was like a high-rise building. It had like a see-through swimming pool, but the guy in it was like really fat, and everybody was looking at him. Like, oh man, that's just unfortunate. So he's living it up, but he doesn't know he's like kind of a spectacle for people.
And I saw it was on one of the late night shows, I think. But there was like there was a slide from like one floor down to like a lower floor, but it was glass, so you'd be like just out in the air.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, I'm not scared of heights, but like I've jumped out of a plane, and that's a hard step to take.
I could never do that.
I don't think I could ever do that unless I just closed my eyes.
Yeah.
Man, it would be a nightmare to me if someone was like, okay, we're going to give you $1 million to jump out of a plane, because I'm like, I would almost have to do it.
Yeah.
But fuck, like,
You'd like jump out when you pull your chute, it'd be like DB Cooper, and just a bunch of money comes out. There's your $1 million.
Oh, that was how it works. Okay.
Bugs Bunny that shit down there.
maybe I would just like pass out from terror and I don't know.
I saw a skydive video where this guy was like, so the instructor was like hiding from the fact from the person he was taking care of, like that the first shoot didn't work.
Oh,
So like they're just like, oh yay, and the lady's like, wow, and he's like, all right, and then he
He's
just
shitting his
pulls the
pants back
second
there.
shoot, but it worked, and he just didn't tell her the whole time. He was just like, it's fine, we're good. Yeah, you had fun.
There was another clip I saw, probably on Tom Segura as well, where like this guy, you know, he did the tandem with the instructor on him, and apparently he got so scared that he did like faint. He passed out. But as they're going down, he starts to wake back up, and as soon as he opens his eyes and he realizes what's going on, he just starts screaming in abject terror, and that one was pretty funny too.
I've seen a couple where people are like on like roller coasters and stuff, where they just like they pass out and then they wake up and they like freak out and they pass out again.
Oh man, I mean, props to them for trying it in the first
Yeah.
place. if they're that horrified, yeah.
Yeah, I saw one. It was pretty obvious, like the guy and the girl were on a date, and I'm pretty sure she was out after that. Like, well, I'm good.
All right, I think that's going to do it. You guys got anything else you wanted to add or anything?
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, guys. Well, if you would, we appreciate you, liking the videos, subscribing, leave us a comment.
Emojis mean sex.
Write positive reviews on whatever your podcast, service of choice is. That will help us greatly. And yeah, send us sex emojis, maybe on Twitter. Guys, where can people find you on Twitter?
At a name for this too, and that's the number 2.
At unsolicited SUG.
And you can find me at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. And that is going to do it for all of our shenanigans and poppycock this week. Please, please, please tune in again next week. Bye, guys.